Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our WWE NXT In Your House preview and predictions. I am here with a very, very special guest on a very, very special day. He is the man behind Fightful, Overbooked, and all the amazing content over there. The host of Tim and Joel, the host of Crappy Hour, the host of so many different shows. He is the Joe Gacy lookalike himself and the birthday boy, Joel Pearl.
My goodness, that was the intro to end all intros, SP3. Thank you. I feel the love today. I do. I feel the love on a day where I'm sitting here and it's like, wait, there's an NXT show on Saturday. What's this going on? You mean it's not just like a random Tuesday? Because that's how they book. It's like 2 weeks in a row. Like you get 2 week builds in NXT. So when I found out Saturday show, wait, what? And it's happening at the PC. That's weird. Anyway, I'm looking forward to talking about it and going through this card with you because it's something, man.
It's a card. But of course, we want to hear from all of you guys in the live chat. So let us know what you think about NXT In Your House 2022 in the live chat. Let us know your predictions for the show. Of course, drop a thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified there. And if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, drop a heart, share it with your friends, and of course, in the live chat, we also, super chat donations are always appreciated. But most of all, we want to hear those happy birthday Joels in comments in the live chat, or if you're watching on demand, in the comments down below, because happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Joel Gacy. Happy birthday to you.
A plus, 100% amazing. If you didn't hear that, you got to rewind it back. You got to watch and listen to that beautiful rendition. Thank you. That's amazing.
Tried my best. I tried my best. I'll even hit you with a little bit of the remix. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. You don't know how many birthdays I get when you can't get by without that version coming out. But yes.
I'll tell you a little something. So this morning my wife let me sleep in a little bit, and she surprised me with breakfast in bed. And by breakfast in bed, I mean she woke me up with like a chocolate fudge cake at quarter to 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. And I was like, nice. Surprised. So I'm also like, I'm the cook in the house. I'm the guy who and I enjoy it. So like for her to even just do that was sweet as hell. No pun intended. And yeah, it was nice to be woken up by my partner, my baby. It was great. So a nice little nice excuse to go and have a nice birthday.
That's just beautiful. I love the love. We got JJ in the live chat saying happy birthday, Joel. Yes, let's see those happy birthday Joels as we get into NXT In Your House. I always ask, before we get into everything, what have you been seeing of like NXT? I know you were surprised that there was a pay-per-view this Sunday, but what do you think? How do you think about what's been going on NXT 2.0? Because you always hear varying opinions of NXT 2.0 ever since their rebrand last September. We're getting close to a year since the rebrand. But what do you think about the rebrand and the new NXT so far, Joel?
There are weeks where I absolutely love NXT because it's wild and it's nutty and it makes little to no sense. And that's how I approach my wrestling. Like to me, it doesn't have to make sense. I just have to be entertained. Sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's stupid, but sometimes great matches come out. Like last night, they did Cameron Grimes and Nathan Frazier, and that was such a wild match. It was so good. So when that stuff happens, it's great. And then like I love seeing the progression of certain new talent that were being pushed right from the get-go of the rebrand. I love seeing them succeed. I love watching the Creed brothers suddenly be put into these positions where they can succeed. Tiffany Stratton is another name that people were a little uneasy about at first, rightfully so, but she's shown that the character work is there. The in-ring work can improve over time, and it's going to get there. And then you've got guys like Joe Gacy. And yeah, I'm a little biased because he and I have that little joking doppelganger thing going on. But with Joe Gacy, he's been around for years. He's been in the independent scene, I think it was well over 10 years before getting into WWE. The man has a background that might surprise a lot of folk. But at the end of the day, he comes in, has a veteran presence, and can work with guys like Bron Breakker, who they want to see at the top. So while the storytelling doesn't always make sense, the pairings often do. And I appreciate that from NXT. And I think a lot of people sleep on the little things that NXT does right to start to prepare their talent for what comes next. The problem is always what happens after when they're shifted up to main roster, and then they got to figure out, where they slot in and how they slot in. And if their names are no longer LA Knight, they're now Max Dupree. But
Dupree.
Dupree. So that's kind of my general feelings about NXT 2.0.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you. The last night's episode was one of the good ones to me. I like the main event. I like the opener even with Pretty Deadly and Roger Strong and Damian Kemp. So there is good moments. And then of course, even on the good episodes like last night, you have the Women's Championship Summit, which was the opposite.
Yeah. Well, you got to put them on the crossover because Toxic Attraction is a draw. So what can you do?
Absolutely. We got Vala B in the chat saying, I'm seeing double 4 Gacy's. We got SP Gacy and Joe Gacy. Yes, I have a running bit, Joe, on the NXT review, which will be later over on the Wrestle Talk Podcast YouTube channel, where I reenact and recite Joe Gacy promos.
Oh my
because
God, yes.
they're so intricate and so like the words sometimes are so eloquent. I love Joe Gacy promos. That's why I love doing it.
He's very very eloquent. He's a very good speaker. Let's face it.
You got to put some respect on Joel's brother's name.
That's right.
But let's get into this card. They dropped a few more matches on last night's edition of NXT 2.0, including the Battle of the Family versus the Cartel, the Italians versus the Latins, as it's going to be Tony D'Angelo and his wise guys, Stacks and Two Dimes versus Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. These two factions have been feuding with each other over the last couple of weeks. It seemed like they had their sit down, and it seemed everything was good until Legado kidnapped Tony D's consigliere AJ Galante. They then the family kidnapped Cruz del Toro. You had the matchup between Tony D and Santos Escobar that ended with Santos using brass knuckles to defeat him. And then they had a last sit down on Legado del Fantasma's yacht, beautiful yacht by the way, where they put the terms for this 6-man tag. If Legado del Fantasma wins, Tony D and his family have to join LDF under the leadership of Santos, or as Tony D calls him, Santos. He does say that. You just listen to him. And if Tony D and his crew win, Legado del Fantasma joins the family under Tony D'Angelo's leadership. What have you thought about this feud, and who do you have winning here, Joe?
First of all, he's got to call him Santos because he wants to put him in cement shoes and throw him to the bottom of the river, right? That's got to be the reason. It's got to be. The other thing, can you throw up the graphic for a sec, just for 2 seconds?
Yeah,
I have to point out Joaquin Wilde doing his best blue steel on the photo. Look at him. Look at that scowl. My God. All right, we'll take it down. This is NXT's version of not storytelling. This is their version of faction warfare, but it's so weird because it's the faction warfare that has 2 teams that have the jobs, like the 90s WWF superstar jobs.
yeah.
These guys have you've got the mob guys, and then you've got the cartel guys, and it's like this weird, nobody knows who the face is, but it's clearly LDF. In my world, we stand Tasma. That's my thing all the time, no matter what. I like that they added the losing team will work for the other's brand. I like that. I think that's a nice little addition to the story, and it can also allow for an extension to it, maybe into war games down the line. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity there, but like they're just getting these two dimes and stacks. They're still getting them acclimated to main roster, to main NXT, because they've done level up. I
Yeah.
think I think Tony D wins though. That's the problem. Because as much as I love Legato, like I've been wanting them up on the main roster doing more for months, but we're kind of just they're stuck waiting. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for Electra Lopez to like get on their level in terms of ring work, and I would understand that. And maybe they just don't want to run into a situation similar to what happened with Hit Row, where they brought them all up and then they cut out the woman in the group, and then everything kind of fell apart for reasons that have been talked about to death. But I want to see them succeed on main roster. They just got to figure out how that works, and don't put them on SmackDown where they would then just show up and work with Los Lotharios and just be like, Electra Lopez is on the kiss cam. Like, I don't want that. But in terms of this match, it'll be good. It'll be this weird mix of like main roster NXT with the level up guys. And if the level up guys perform well, then Tony and his guys are going to be shot to the moon. That's my feeling.
Tony D'Angelo and the Mamalukes. These are the Mamalukes reborn, because even I think it's two dimes. He kind of looks like Big Vito if he has the hat on. But I'm going with the family as well. I think that Santos, he won the matchup with Tony D. Tony D is the guy they're trying to build up here, the new Don of NXT. It wouldn't make sense for the new Don of NXT to beat Ciampa at their last special and then lose here. I think he wins, but it's going to be interesting how they work out Legado del Fantasma working with the family. But I've liked the storyline overall. I like the aspects of it's kind of like the mob versus the cartel. It's been fun. And the segments, Santos Escobar has been the star of those segments. He has some great acting chops, in my opinion.
How he's not being pushed to main roster and treated like the next big breakout Latino star, it absolutely just befuddles me, because like you said, he can speak and he speaks well. He has talent. He's an excellent wrestler. He has a lineage that you can draw from if you choose to. There is nothing stopping WWE from making Santos Escobar the guy. And on top of that, like, they just did a feud where they could have had Zion Quinn take over Legado del Fantasma and send Santos Escobar up to main roster on his own. They could have done that, but they didn't. They kept Legado together, and whatever that means, it's sometimes mind-boggling how they treat Santos Escobar as like this guy who just can't win the big one. Maybe this is the opportunity they're going to have. Maybe this will all lead to a loser leaves NXT match, like after they finish this round of six-man tag.
Yeah, it might be the direction they go, because I agree with you. Santos Escobar needs to be on the main roster like yesterday.
Yeah.
But we're going to get some championship matches, 5 championship matches in total on NXT in your house on Saturday. One of those being for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's going to be pretty deadly, going up against the number 1 contenders of Diamond Mine, the Creed brothers. It was about a month and a half ago, the beginning of April, where they had a 5-team gauntlet to determine the new NXT Tag Team Championships after the belts were relinquished by MSK following the release of Nash Carter. And the Creeds dominated that match. They eliminated 3 teams before they ran into Pretty Deadly, and Pretty Deadly defeated them to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Pretty Deadly before that was revealed as the tag team that were attacking the Creeds and destroyed the Diamond Mine gym before they, coming from NXT UK, former NXT UK tag team champions, and coming to the US. They wanted to make a statement by attacking the big tag team of the NXT tag team division. And here we are. We finally get it 2-on-2, a fair tag team match, not the Creeds going through 3 other matches before they verse the Pretty Deadly tag team. Who do you think is going to come out with the championships here?
First of all, yes, boy. I like Pretty Deadly. I do. And you know what? I'm a little frustrated if the Creeds win, only because we've been talking about them being the guys for so long, for at least the last couple of months. And then Pretty Deadly came in. They stole the tag titles in that gauntlet match. And that got all clustered up because of the MSK situation with Nash Carter. So that, I think, threw a huge wrench into the plans of whatever they were doing with the Creed brothers. I will take a moment to shout out the fact that NXT UK working with 2.0 has actually been really, really beneficial on both sides. And I
Yes.
want to see more of that. That's something that's been really, really cool to watch. Pretty Deadly. I mean, they should win, but once they added the caveat of the Creeds leaving Diamond Mine, do you want to make Roddy the biggest failure in every group he's in? Like, do you really want to go there?
I
Is
mean,
it,
he pretty much already is, because when Malcolm Bivens was here, everybody had sat over on the Wrestle Talk podcast telling me that Roddy was the leader, and I just had to mention Roddy has not won a match on NXT 2.0 in 2022. I'm pretty sure that's a stat. That's a confirmed fact and stat that he has not won at least not a singles match on NXT 2.0 in 2022. So yeah, I
okay?
don't understand how he's the leader.
Here's what you do: you have the Creed brothers win, and then the Creeds the next week on NXT TV, they say, "Hey, Roddy, Damon, how about if you want to stay in Diamond Mine, you have to defeat us for the titles." And then Roddy loses again, and Roddy's like, "Now, but then we're doing the Roddy leaves NXT again." But this time, Roddy actually shows up on the main roster instead of comes back with random people and says, "This is Diamond Mine." I don't know what you do, because the big question becomes, what the hell do you do with Diamond Mine if the Creeds win or lose? Like, there's no right answer here, because the Creeds are poised to break out, but do the Creeds need Diamond Mine, and will Diamond Mine fluster with them gone? Because you got Ivy Nile as well. They're trying to tell other stories with her. They did it last night with Kayla Inlay. Is that what they're calling her now? Kayla Inlay? Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
think. Well, Kiana. No, I think it's Kiana James. Kiana James, the one
Right.
that
Okay.
that does the stats.
The
They have
secretary. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have
The
they have
accountant. The
12
accountant.
they have 12% chance of winning. Apparently,
Yes.
the Green Brothers.
I think her and Dana Brooke need to make a tag team, because Dana Brooke used to be the tightest worldwide accountant. They should probably
That is
get that
true.
going. There's your new women's tag champions right there. But anyway, in this match, God, I the Creeds have to win. They have to win. But Pretty Deadly can't be left out in the cold like this, because they're so good. And like, I just don't want to ship them back to the UK and be like, well, that happened. Like,
Hey, they can say they've done better than the Grizzled Young Vets. To be fair. To be
it's
fair,
true.
the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions. I think Pretty Deadly wins here. I think they've gotten over their heel act. Like they have catchphrases that I talk about on a regular basis. Side plate check. Yes, boy. Yes, like come on. They are
Sure.
extremely charismatic, and I think that the whole point of them winning that 5-team gauntlet and winning the titles is to create a long chase for the Creed brothers. And I think that this will be a moment where I think that the reason the Pretty Deadly wins is because of Roddy Strong. Roderick Strong doesn't like the Creed brothers kind of undermining his leadership, so he's gonna cost them, whether it's by accident or purpose. I think he cost Diamond Mine, two of their biggest members in the Creed brothers, on Saturday, and the Pretty Deadly win.
Just send Damon Kemp back to the UK. He's not even from there. He's just making an impact there. Just send him there and then see what his brother does. There we go.
We got Mr. JJ who says that's filth. Roddy deserves better. Just free the man. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's pretty sad. He's only won against Wolfgang on NXT UK. I'm pretty sure that's his only victory in 2022 so far.
Roddy, again, again, this is the big difference between so many, like the AEW style of character and the WWE style of character. If you want to do that, like, Roddy is an AEW wrestler type because he's not a character. Roddy
Yeah,
Strong is not a character actor. His acting isn't great, but his wrestling is fantastic. Like, you can't force him into this box where he has to give line after line and do a 20-minute promo. He's not that guy. So like, they had to figure something out with him, or else he's going to continue to be miserable. And I don't want anyone to be miserable, especially someone who's that talented.
Come on, just let him free. Let him go to AEW, reunite with the Undisputed Elite. They can kick out the Young Bucks, and then we can get the OG Elite to reunite with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Why
There
not?
you go.
It
There you go.
creates the perfect war games.
I guarantee you, it's not going to get 2 million viewers in AEW, but it'll definitely get people happy to see something different. It's no
Absolutely.
big deal, guys. I promise.
I promise you, WWE, it's not going to affect your business at all.
No.
For
If
the
anything, your wrestlers might actually be happier because you granted the release of someone who was legitimately upset.
just go at it. Strong, Mustafa Ali, all the guys that seem like
Sure.
they want to be free, or like the people that look like they're depressed, like Wesley and Champa on the main roster. Like just
I mean, yeah, without going too far, like it sounds like the Mustafa Ali stuff is kind of cleared up and he seems to be on the same page and everyone's happy for now, which is great. I hope it keeps up. There's a precedent to be set that if you're unhappy, you should be able to get out within certain circumstances. And with Roddy, like if you ask that many times for your release, come on. In the Jewish faith, if you want to convert, you have to ask a rabbi 3 times. And by the third time, the rabbi has to say yes. In this case, Roddy, if he's asking 4 times, why are you saying no? Who does this help?
you just learned something for all our non-Jewish viewers. Joel's teaching you. We got for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. It's gonna be Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane defending against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance have been the longest tenured tag team of the NXT Women's Tag Team division, but they're finally gonna get their title shots on a main stage against Toxic Attraction. They noted last night on NXT 2.0 that they are the only tag team to defeat Toxic Attraction. And they just left out the part that Toxic Attraction is actually a 2-time NXT Tag Team Champion. So some other team had to beat them if you've never been champions before. But, one of those have a new name on the main roster. The other of those is released from the company. So they no longer exist, apparently. But Kaden and Katana finally get their shot at Toxic Attraction. Do they walk out with the gold, or does the era of Toxic continue, Joel?
The era of Toxic continues, first of all. Second of all, shout out to Kitana Chance, who is basically just Casey's white girl persona brought to light. Because she was like, oh, I want to drink bourbon and go to country shows. I'm just like, I've met girls like you.
Yes, yeah.
They're just basic white girls. What do you want? What is this? Why can't you be Ninja Warrior Casey? What happened there? What's wrong with being like super athletic woman who kicks a bunch of ass? Why you got to be girl who goes to EDM festivals and rolls on Molly while listening to like Steve Aoki? What is this shit? What is this?
Girl that rolls on Molly.
They've now become a team that is absolutely unbearable to me. And that's after I spent a solid year pushing for them to be put on the main roster as a good functional tag team. And then they suddenly found a way to both change a name, which I don't really get bothered by the name changes, but like this one, especially the explanation behind it just made no sense. It was just like, this is my alter ego. It's like, bitch, you've been the same person for the last 5 years. Why the change now? What does this accomplish? What does it do?
I don't understand that explanation. It was just like, well, they just threw something at the board, or they let her just like kind of explain. Like, we change your name, you come up with the explanation, and that's the explanation that she came up with. So more power to you. I think I agree with you. I think the era of Toxic continues. I was another person for like the last couple of months, even when they've returned to television. I was like, man, give these girls a chance. Let them become the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. But there seems to be other teams that are forming in that Women's Tag Team division, like especially Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. I could realistically see them using this women's breakout tournament, which I wouldn't have mind that the finals being on this show. I think that would have worked out fine.
Yeah.
they would have done that, but they needed a big match for the follow-up episode. Fair enough to you, but I can see her using the contract, because the contract is for any title. It's not just for the women's title, it's for any title that she wants. I can see her using that, since they've been setting up her and Cora Jade as a tag team. I can see them being the team that finally dethrones Toxic Attraction. So that's why I think JC and Gigi are going to get the victory here.
They kind of did that with Mello though. When he
Yeah,
won the breakout tournament, he didn't go after the NXT title. He went after the North American title. I don't know if they want to play that game again, and it's not a swerve, but like, do they want to play that game where they're just like, oh, the title I want isn't the main. Why wouldn't you want the main title? That's really what I'm getting at. And I know, but it also feels like if they do it, it should be they don't win Casey and what's her face? Sorry, Roxy and Roxanne Perez and Cora
Cora
Jade.
Jade.
Yeah, I'm having my brain. If those two team up, if Roxanne and Cora Jade team up, they shouldn't win the tag titles. They should start a feud, because I really think there's long-term money. And I thought this was going to happen months ago. I thought it was going to be Cora Jade finally wins the big one, beats Mandy Rose at Stand and Deliver. And then
Me
by the
too.
time we get to SummerSlam TakeOver, whatever it is, the big SummerSlam show, they were going to get to Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade, because that is a generational, that is your future of NXT in the women's division in WWE right there, starting off hot. But clearly that's not the plan they have, or at least not yet. We'll see what happens with those two. I don't know who's going to win that women's breakout tournament. We can talk about that later. But in the tag match, it's still toxic time.
I agree. We're in full agreement there that the era of Toxic will continue there, but will it continue for the main title, Joel? As Mandy Rose will defend her NXT Women's Championship against Wendy Chu. And this feud has been going on for quite some time now. Wendy Chu has been basically a thorn in Toxic Attraction's side ever since they basically talked down to them following their loss. Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai following their loss in the Dusty Cup, losing to who was it? Who was it that they lost to? Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray, who used that opportunity for a shot at the NXT Women's title. See, man, there's been a lot of confusion with this women's division for
You
a
see?
while.
You see? And by the way, Kaylee Ray is now John Alba's Fire.
Yes. That's great. That's great. I'm using that. John Alba's Fire. But yes, Wendy Chu has been basically causing havoc for Toxic Attraction ever since then. There was the incident at the tanning salon where she did the Final Destination and locked her in and turned it up to turn Mandy Rose orange. There was her super soak, that hole with the whole Toxic Attraction getting soaked by her super soaker. And there was last week where Wendy Chu hit Mandy Rose with a sack of balls right to the face. And then this past week on NXT last night, she put Mandy Rose through a table with this sleeping elbow drop. So is it time? We've heard months ago, you guys over at Fightful Select, spend that money. It's a good service. Sean Rossap reported about Wendy Chu, signing a new deal with WWE, and that it was going to come with a push. This is a push. This is a big opportunity for her, a big match. Is Wendy Chu going to be the woman to dethrone Mandy Rose, her 218-day reign, which has now put her past the reign of Raquel Gonzalez for 6 all-time in NXT history, and she's just 5 days off of Bayley's reign, which was 223 days. Does she pass Bayley and enter the top 5 longest women's title reigns in NXT history, or does Wendy Chu win, Joe?
Give her the top 5. Give Mandy Rose the top 5, because she has been an excellent champion. She's not going to be your best wrestler. She's gotten better, but she has delivered every time you put her out there, for better or for worse. You don't have to love the gimmick, but you got to at least appreciate that when Toxic Attraction is out there, when Mandy Rose is on TV, people tune in, they pay attention. Wendy Chu is entertaining as hell. I want the world for Wendy Chu, because she is endlessly entertaining and she can wrestle. I don't think that is a women's division champion unless she gets the title and ditches the gimmick and immediately says, this is me, and she no longer does the onesies, and it's no longer this weird one-dimensional character that just causes havoc and is like your sleep paralysis demon, but really nice. I Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Ninja Warrior greater than basic white chick,
It's
says
very true.
Mr. JJ.
I've worked enough bars and weddings to know the basic white chick circuit, and I'm very happy with who I married. To put it like that. Mandy Rose retaining that title makes sense, and if you have her beat or tie Bailey's record, then there's a little something of a story you can tell, not immediately, but at least like a little needle that you can use when Bailey comes back, and you've got Mandy Rose.
That
They
is
they
true.
they rarely talk about NXT on the main roster, but it's something that I think those two could get away with as just a little sticking point to upset someone like Bailey.
Yeah, that is true. And we don't know, maybe Bailey wants to get her feet wet back in NXT before she's on the main roster full time, even though that main roster, especially SmackDown, needs her desperately.
Yes.
But I agree with you. I think Mandy Rose's reign is going to continue here. I think that she's going to enter the top 5 all time. She's not that far off of Charlotte's reign, which was 258 days. So I can see her holding on to the title to at least the SummerSlam weekend, NXT's 2.0 special, and either it's gonna be maybe Roxanne Perez, maybe the returning Nikita Lyons. I don't know who is gonna be that dethrones Mandy Rose, but I can see her holding it on to then, because I was one of the people like you, Joel, that said Cora Jade. I was convinced Cora Jade is gonna win that 4-way at Stand and Deliver, because they're gonna start the era of Cora Jade there, but they didn't do that. They haven't done much with Cora Jade outside of setting up a tag team with her and Roxanne Perez since then, unless you count a very good match with Natalya where she fell asleep. She didn't really pass out in the,
But you got the
in the
respect.
show.
You should have just done the title thing. Oh God.
She should have just beat her. Why would you bring Natalya to NXT and have
No,
her
no, okay.
beat your on the rise babyface? I will never understand that.
The story there was the veteran versus the newbie, and it
Yeah.
made sense if you figured it out that way, because the idea here was that Natalya, who is the elder stateswoman of the division, she's been around the longest, she's seen everything. She took this woman and brought her to her limits. Natalya took Jade to the limit, and vice versa. Jade passed out, so therefore she lost the match. But the respect was there because she actually hung in there, and eventually she didn't get the win, but she got the respect of the woman who basically runs, and I use that very, very loosely, the WWE women's division. That's the story there. It didn't bug me as much seeing the pass out finish, but
It just
they
bugged
should have
me
done
because
more.
it was a really good matchup, and
Yes.
just the way they did the pass out finish, where you obviously saw Cora J talk to the referee, and then she just said, "All right, let me take a nap." She did. It wasn't like she struggled and then
All right.
oh
That may have
like
been a
that.
timing. That's a timing issue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a bigger issue.
Gotta
Maybe
get.
they didn't have Joe Gacy give a long-winded promo that night.
Hey, we always need long-winded Joe
It's true.
Casey
It's
promo.
true. It's true.
We also got AJ Marshall who's saying Mandy Rose, this version of her having her best work. I do agree there,
Yeah.
especially her promo. Her promo last night was probably the only good part of that championship summit that they had. And Vala B mentioning Nikita Lyons. Don't you mean Magna the Stallion? No, I mean Booty Giuliani. That's who
Yeah,
I mean.
Julia.
Booty Giuliani.
Fix
I see.
Santorum.
I say we got one of the hosts of NX3 who's popping in for our preview of In Your House. We got Romeo here. What's
Hey,
going on, Romeo?
What's up, SP3? What's up, Joel? Good to
how you
see you.
doing, man? Good to see
Doing
you.
good, doing good.
The birthday boy, Joel Gacy.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, pal.
You know, SP3. I'm Mr. NXT here on the channel. You know, I wave the NXT flag more than anyone. I try to defend it when I can. This card stinks. This card stinks. This is not nothing to look forward to on Saturday.
No, you're right. It's not great.
It's really bad.
You know what it is? It's Peacock was like, "Hey, you got a date," and WWE was like, "I got an idea."
And WWE was like, This is not in Chicago, right? This is at in
This is
Florida.
at the
It's a
PC.
PC.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it was like
PC.
we're not taking this on the road. You kidding me? You can stay right there.
Like no one's
They should
buying
have
this.
done it. They should have done it in like the middle of nowhere. just like go into the swamplands of Florida, set up a ring, and be like, "Here we go."
It's like
I'm
that
pretty sure
SpongeBob
they.
meme when they're looking through the gate or whatever from up top, and they see everybody having fun in Chicago, Hell in a Cell. And it's like, nope.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They could have gotten like the Hell in a Cell, the Rosemont Horizons the day before, maybe, but nope.
Get some bingo hall. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Something where it's not the same old fans who just
Fill
they
up the
will cheer
now
anything.
arena.
I was about
Fill
to
up the
say
now
that. I
arena.
was like,
Really,
now
really
arena.
stick it to TK.
Get him, stick it to him. Now arena, be there. I feel like Romeo just came because we're talking about probably by far what's going to be the best match on this show next, which is for the North American Championship. Is going to be Cameron Grimes defending against Carmelo Hayes. Back at Stand and Deliver, it was Cameron Grimes who realized his dream and made his daddy proud by becoming the North American champion, ending the reign of Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes has basically been chasing the title ever since then because he says that he makes that title. And the title needs him because he is the A champion. They had a triple threat match with Solo Sikoa at NXT Spring Break-In with Cameron Grimes winning and pinning Solo Sikoa there. And now we finally get the one-on-one matchup. These two men went up against each other at Vengeance Day in another great contest where Carmelo Hayes won. So does Carmelo win back the NXT North American Championship, or does Cameron Grimes' reign continue, Joe?
Cameron Grimes goes to the moon. 100%. First of all, I don't love this whole I did it for my dad before he died, or as a tribute to him passing. I don't love it. I wanted kind of hokey Cameron Grimes to keep winning and winning, but I'll take it because Cameron Grimes is fantastic. He's great. Mello 100% deserves so much more, and so he's they did this thing where like they kind of cooled him off, but they're still bringing him and Trick out. It's like they're trying to figure out, do we like Trick more? Do we like Mello more? Are they a tag team? What do they do? Because in the WWE world, you got the bigger guys Trick, right? And so they want to really put their money behind him. But Mello is such an incredible performer and deserves to have the shots that they might give to Trick instead. Yeah, he don't miss. It's true. Like for all the times he says it, there's nothing wrong with it. Frantic, thank you, by the way. I will say this. What they probably do is have Grimes retain, and then when we get to the main event, we'll talk about Bron Breakker again. Carmelo Hayes will do that thing along with 4 other guys on the first NXT back where they confront the champion. They say, I deserve the shot. And then they'll do a fatal 4-way or a fatal 5-way number 1 contendership match to determine who's going to face Breakker next.
The revolving door promo.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what they do in NXT. That's how they set up at least one championship match per big show. They do it that way.
We got another birthday boy in the chat. Santo, happy birthday. He says, I just got on and am behind. I want to wish Joel a blessed and happy birthday. Mine was yesterday on the 31st. So we got a whole bunch of birthdays here. So
and hey, today is me and my girl's 4-year anniversary. So a very special day all around.
Hey, look at that.
Wow,
Everyone's having a good day. Everyone's having a good week. Santo, happy birthday yesterday, belated. Hope it was a good one.
Beautiful stuff, and happy anniversary to Romeo and his better half, Yari.
I like how you emphasize better.
Emphasis on better. Romeo, who you got? Cameron Grimes or Carmelo Hayes?
I'll take Cameron Grimes here. I agree with Joel. We all missed that slimy heel persona, Cameron Grimes. The babyface Grimes has been kind of, groan-inducing. I don't know. Are they using NXT to just like, okay, let's work on your weakness, being a babyface? I don't know what we're doing here. Mello in the NXT World Title picture, like that'd be fun, but I never ever get that logic of you lose a North American title now. Why don't you move on up to the world title? I never get that logic. I never like it.
It's dumb.
It
It is dumb,
It
but
happens a lot.
yeah, it happens a lot, and I'm okay with it when it comes to Carmelo
Yes,
Hayes. Carmelo
selfishly.
Hayes,
Yeah.
I felt like it during the portions of NXT 2.0 where I really wasn't enjoying the show. He felt like Shawn Michaels in 1993 WWF. There wasn't much around Shawn Michaels in those times, but you could at least count on Shawn to have the best match on the show, and that was
Yep.
Carmelo Hayes' role as the North American champion. So I think he deserves at least an opportunity to get his crack at the main event scene. You know, I can be against him because he did wear a Jason Tatum shirt last night, and I hate
Ugh.
the Celtics with
Ugh.
all my Laker heart, but I
We are
gotta give
all
him
Warriors fans.
yes, everyone should be rooting for the Warriors. But yeah, I think that Carmelo's gonna get his opportunity. We got you, my boy Blue, who says happy birthday, Joel, minus tomorrow. See,
Wow.
celebrations everywhere.
Good
Happy
stuff.
anniversary to Romeo and his better half. And we also got Frantic World, who says happy belated birthday to Santo and happy anniversary to Romeo.
Nice.
I'm gonna agree with you guys, even though this is probably the biggest toss-up on this card. I can realistically see Carmelo Hayes winning just to drop the title to Solo Sikoa. Because there has to be a reason that Solo beat him in that tag team match when it was Mello and Trick versus Solo and Grimes. And I could see, you know, him just being the transitional champion to Solo Sikoa. But I can also see, I think that it's a foregone conclusion that Solo is winning this North American Championship. So whoever wins this matchup, Solo, he's got next. He means that figuratively. He's got next with that North American title. But I'm going to agree with you guys and say Cameron Grimes wins.
Whatever the case, however you're gonna book it, at some point, I want to see Cameron Grimes just get back to that dirty side of his, just whether he gets frustrated or whether he gets desperate. That will make NXT a lot more fun if we have heel Cameron Grimes again.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what's even better? When you have Cameron Grimes eventually join the main roster and just be the most obnoxious stonks guy there is. And then he joins Max Dupree. Maybe not. He tries to get in. He wants to be part of the group, but he's not good enough. He's not good looking enough. So his first, instead of doing the Dolph Ziggler feud, he's going to have his first feud with like Mansoor. That's what it's going to be.
I just don't understand why they stripped away all the parts that made him entertaining and that made him a slam dunk for what he is eventually called up. Because let's look at the history of NXT call-ups. Serious characters don't work for Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon don't like them serious characters. Exhibit A, Tommaso Ciampa on Monday Night Raw. This man didn't even get an entrance. And in comparison, look at Riddle. Riddle was a comedy character, basically, and he's getting the biggest push of any NXT call-up. So why not just let Cameron Grimes be the Cameron Grimes we grew in love of going to the moon? I will never understand.
I would hope it's a case of like, okay, we already know you could do that. Let's challenge you. We already know you could do that. Yeah. You can go back to that later. Let's challenge you with something different and see if you could do that. I would hope it's that, but I'm not going to bet on it.
safe bet not to bet on that. And then finally here we got the main event. Joel's twin brother Joe Gacy will get his opportunity.
They really are twins.
I'll take the glasses off just for this.
Oh man, you could do the switcheroo.
We
be under the ring. You could help him win.
I got to do the arms together and everything.
You gotta put the fingers together like this.
I gotta interlace the fingers. I gotta do this thing.
You got Joe Gacy getting his opportunity at the NXT Championship. These two men went up against each other at NXT Spring Breaking, with Bron Breakker getting the victory. And then after the match, his Druids, the grizzled young Druids, they attacked Bron Breakker. They attacked Bron Breakker and put him on a stretcher. They left him out in the wilderness. They basically kidnapped him, similar to what Joe Gacy and Harlan did to Bron Breakker's father, Rick Steiner, at the beginning of this feud. And now he's been playing mind games with Bron Breakker ever since then. He stole his dad's Hall of Fame ring. He basically put up a a video of him in football when his dad wasn't around, bringing out all of Bron Breaker's daddy's issues, and he is getting into his head because if Bron Breakker loses this matchup by disqualification, Joe Gacy will become the new NXT champion. What have you thought about this feud, Joel? And who do you think is going to win?
It took me very, very long to figure out that the Druids were in fact Gacy young veterans. Yes, absolutely. It was a light bulb moment when it happened. So there you go. No, man, the build has not been great. It has not been great. And I like Joe Gacy. I am biased as hell, but here we are. Bron Breakker, again, not a character actor. He's really good at getting angry and sounding like his pops or like his uncle. And that's about it out of him. I expect so much more. I'm expecting, and I think the world is expecting so much more out of Bron Breakker as a character and also as just the guy who represents WWE. When he did the SummerSlam junkets, or was it SummerSlam the Royal Rumble junkets? No, Mania junkets. Oh my God, I don't know what month it is anymore. When he did the WrestleMania junkets, he was a little stiff, and I get that he's still kind of figuring the media side out, but he needs some work there. But like, he's an undeniable talent. He came in, people like him as the champion. They like what he does. He's learning new stuff every time he goes out there and performs, which I appreciate. He's going to retain the title. There's going to be something going on with those Druids that try to get him to act up and get disqualified. He's going to knock them out, or he's going to unhood them. We're going to find out that they are the Gacy young veterans, and then that's going to be that. But I think that Bron Breakker retains. Game over. That's it. I don't know what happens with Joe Gacy afterwards. He goes after Cameron Grimes for the North American Championship, wins it, and then Solo Sikoa takes it from him. There you go.
There you go. That could work, because you have to kind of pay off at this point, because he's kind of given us his mission statement that he wants championship gold to further change NXT and change the brand overall. So it's not like the Bray Wyatt thing where, Bray Wyatt would go after people and we never knew the point. We know the point now to Joe Gacy through this whole feud that he's had with Bron Breakker. And I'd say Joe Gacy, although people have been very polarizing about the character, I think that his delivery is amazing. He has the best promo delivery of anyone on this brand. I love the promos and the diatribes that he goes on, but like Joel said, it's just been misplaced in a feud with Bron Breakker.
I liked it when it was more subtle. Now it's over the top. WWE
It
Sports Entertainer. It was more subtle before when he had, Harlan. That's when it was better. I don't know.
By the way, the lineage is for the North American Championship. It's Cameron Grimes, Joe Gacy, Solo Sikoa, and then Boa comes back, because we got to pay off. We got to pay off the Boa and Solo Sikoa feud that ended, but never really ended.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time. long time, Boa.
That damn Boa.
Sorry, go back.
I got Bron Breakker getting the win here. If they hadn't done the weird thing where they had him lose the NXT championship to Dolph Ziggler to sell more tickets in Dallas, I would totally be like, maybe they do this with Joel Gacy just to break up Bron's reign and give him a second reign by beating Joel Gacy. I'm saying Joel Gacy. Joe Gacy.
It's great for my brand. It's great.
Joe Gacy for the championship, but no, since they did that, he's already a 2-time champion. He's kind of the face of the whole brand here. He needs to get the victory here. Who do you got winning, Romeo?
It would be so bad and such a shit ending, but they've set it up. They've set it up that you can take the title off of Bron again, just from the disqualification angle of this. They've set it up, and you could tell they really want to continue this story. Even though they should pull the plug now, it's not being well received. Pull the plug. I don't know what you do with I was going to call him Joe Gacy too. I was going to call him that. Yes. I don't know what you do with Joe Gacy after. Bron should win. Bron should tear them apart. He should look like the superhero here. But don't you think there's a chance? Like a better than good chance, maybe?
I think
knowing how they look things.
There's more of a chance of this happening than It has in a while with this stipulation, to be fair. Like I'd say that this is similar to the whole Christian versus Randy Orton, because not a lot of people thought that was going to happen when they had this similar stipulation and then they pulled the trigger on it. I would not be surprised if NXT 2.0 did this, because they don't seem to, because even so far, we have established that Braun Breaker is the face of this new rebrand. They haven't exactly pushed him through the moon quite yet.
I already made a mistake of picking against Britt Baker, though, so I'm not going to pick against Braun Breaker. So I'm going to go Braun Breaker. Official pick.
Britt Breaker, Braun Breaker.
I was like, yeah, Britt Baker.
Britt Breaker, Braun Baker.
Great stuff. Great. This is the type of analysis they come here for. Oh, we got Yubo Boy Blue. He says they fired Bray and Braun to bring in Prey and Braun.
Oh, it's true.
Man, everybody's rhyming.
Getting those bars in. But yes, that is the card for NXT in your house. It should be interesting. The North American Championship will be good. The tag team titles will be good. Everything else, it's there for entertainment, I guess. I mean, this is your show. Any remarks about the show, Romeo?
I've said my piece. This card stinks. They dropped the takeover name for good reason. They don't want to be associated with the takeovers. Let it be separate. Let it be separate.
Any final remarks, Joel?
It's a one-match show. It's a $5 event if you're a Peacock subscriber. That's really that's all the value it is. Go and watch Grimes and Hayes. It'll be a good match. Other than that, I think the 6-man with Legato and Tony and the family will be pretty entertaining. But other than that, there's nothing here that I'm really looking forward to. Maybe the Creeds and Pretty Deadly. I'll enjoy that match. They work well. I want to see if Brutus, was it Brutus or Julius? Who's the bigger one? Is it Brutus?
Brutus, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if he tries to sever his ankles from his feet again.
With that cannonball. Oh yeah. Boy, I can't wait. Can't wait for that. But yes, check it out. We're going to be here on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time with our NXT in your house watch along. Romeo will be here to give you more analysis of what should be an interesting card from NXT 2.0. But we got to thank Joel Pearl for joining us. Thank you so much, Joel. As always, you are invited back. We always have a good time chatting wrestling with you. And please let the people know where they can find you on social media, what you got going on. Fightful Overbooked, the Fightful YouTube channel. You're a busy man.
I'm all over the place. I'm easy to find. I'm at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. Yes, I'm on Fightful Overbooked, youtube.com/Fightful Overbooked. I am trying to overtake the main Fightful channel. We're currently at 13,000 subscribers. The Fightful channel is a little over 70,000, so I have it in me to beat the channel. Just go ahead and subscribe now, and we drop content there every day. If you want me on the main Fightful channel, you can find me there Thursday nights doing the post-impact review show with Cresta Star. Cresta is a fantastic co-host to have. She's hilarious. The show, Impact is great week by week, so it's fun to go and talk about that every single Thursday after Impact goes off the air over at youtube.com/Fightful. Other than that, guys, I appreciate the hell out of you. I love working and being on True Heel Heat programming of any kind. Y'all are fun, and that's all I got. Thanks for the birthday love, everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely. Happy birthday to Joel. We are happy to have him on his special day. And Romeo, you want to let the people know where they can find you, sir, and when you'll be back on the channel.
Hey, True Heel Romeo on Twitter and Instagram. Catch me on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Probably not tonight, but join us for the Dynamite Watch Along Elite Heat number 3. What else we got going on? We got, of course, this weekend, both watch alongs in your house. And of course, Hell in a Cell. Join us Sunday for that. And Mondays, Raw watch alongs. Tuesdays, NXT watch alongs. And over on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel, I'm over there too with SB3 and Drunk Guy JJ. We just dropped True Rewind 77, spray painted. And then tune out for next week, True Rewind 78, New World Giants.
Absolutely. Some good stuff going on Fightful Overbooked, as well as here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I'll be back on YouTube at about 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. UK on the Wrestle Talk Podcast YouTube channel, reviewing last night's NXT 2.0 with Sati Nyangi. You can follow the gang on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. For $3 a month, you can get even more content from True Hill Heat, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Join our prediction championship as we're going to predict the cards for In Your House. See if you can dethrone Chris G. I know the updated standings Romeo still has to post over on Patreon, so we'll update everything. I want to see if I'm closer or farther away from Chris G, who's on top and was only leading by one match over me. And of course, ProWrestlingTees.com/True Hills for your True Heel Heat merchandise. But that is all for our NXT In Your House preview and predictions. Big thanks to the birthday boy, Joel Pearl. Thank you, Romeo, for popping in. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our NXT In Your House preview and predictions. We are signing off until next time.